The New York Jets officially kick off the Aaron Glenn era with a win, baby. A 30-10 preseason win on the road against the Green Bay Packers. A dominant one at that. Us New York Jets fans couldn't have asked for anything more out of gangrene. And right here on our first post-game edition of NY Flight Jets Talk of the year, we'll break down the key takeaways, the highlights, and everything you need to know from today's game. A lot to get into and a lot of positive at that. We'll do that and much more right here on NY Flight Jets Talk, baby. Let's go.
Jets, Jets, let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer and Jets legend Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Long.
What is going on, New York Jet fans? Hello, everyone, and welcome back here into another edition of NY Flight Jets Talk. Shout out to all you Jet fans out there joining us right here on this beautiful Saturday evening following a 30-10 Jets preseason win over the Green Bay Packers. The Jets kickstart their preseason with a dominant win over the Green Bay Packers, an organization that obviously has had a lot of familiarity with our New York Jets over the past years, but nevertheless, the Aaron Glenn era starts with a win, baby. Appreciate all your support. Connor Long, right here with you guys on NY Flight Jets Talk. Before we get into everything, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe. It is completely free, and it helps us grow significantly right here on the channel. Through all your questions, comments, and thoughts in the chat. We're going to get to all of those. You guys can call into the show with the pinned comment. Appreciate all your support as always. And again, you can also help contribute to the show in a paid way, and contributing the show in a paid way gives you a super cool opportunity to win some super cool prizes. Our monthly membership raffle this month happening on August 15th. The prizes that you would be getting a chance to win if you submit a $2 super chat or gift a membership include a Wayne Corbett, Lavernius Cole, Santana Moss signed photo, a Don Maynard signed photo, an Altoon signed photo, a free item from our merch store, a channel emoji, and most importantly, our grand prize, which is a Sauce Gardner signed photo, which comes in a frame. So again, get all your super chats, get all your memberships in. It's a Jets win, baby. Every $2 super chat or gifted membership get you a raffle entry. And, since it's a Jet win, we'll double the raffle entries. So you gift a membership, it gets you 2 entries. You get to 5 memberships, it gets you 10. 10 equals 20, so on and so forth. Same goes for Super Chat. So we'll double raffle entries here on the show as it is a Jets win, the first under head coach Aaron Glenn. So get all your Super Chats, get all your memberships in. They help us grow significantly here on the show. And again, it is Connor Long right here with you guys on NY Flight Jets Talk. We have so much to dive into, and thank you all for joining us. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all those in the chat. Load them up. We'll get to those. Also, load up your calls with the link pinned at the top of the chat. Appreciate all of your support as always. Right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. We have so many takeaways, so many positive things that I want to get into right here on the show. And we're going to pull up Aaron Glenn's press conference. I have it loaded here on my lower monitor here. So the second Aaron Glenn steps up to the podium, we will stop what we are doing right here on the show, bring it up so all you Jet fans can hear live while listening to us what AG has to say following this team's electric win and their first of the 2025-2026 season. I know it's a preseason win, folks, and I said if things go wrong and, Justin Fields doesn't click and this team doesn't click overall, don't panic. Well, Justin Fields didn't play poorly. The offense didn't play poorly. This team overall didn't play poorly. Nothing showed that Justin Fields' ability was hindered in this offense. The Jets weren't utilizing him correctly. Nothing showed that this offensive line needs to play together more. Nothing showed that this offensive line didn't live up to the praise they received all offseason long, and the assets that they, dumped into this offensive line. All around, this team played a very, very, very solid football game. Are there some things that you want to clean up? Absolutely. Penalties were still an issue. And again, I said this after the the green and white scrimmage where everyone was so concerned and the Jets had so many penalties and it was, oh my God, Aaron Glenn really, really hasn't changed anything, blah, blah, blah. Changing a fundamental issue like committing a mass amount of penalties isn't something that just flicks on overnight and boom, it's changed. This is a process. And Aaron Glenn has taken all the right steps in that process thus far. So shout out to Aaron Glenn as he continues to minimize these penalties. Look, the penalties weren't pretty. The disciplined brand of football wasn't pretty, especially at the start. Overall, though, the Jets ultimately committed 10 penalties that amounted to 91 yards. So there were some penalties. There were some that were pretty avoidable. One that was avoidable was a late hit that linebacker Marcelino McCrary Ball laid on Packers tight end Luke Musgrave after he had already stepped out of bounds. And we talk about how Aaron Glenn is addressing these penalty issues, how he's nipping it in the bud, and how he doesn't stand for avoidable penalties, and he's trying to instill a disciplined brand of football here in New York with his New York Jets. Look, I found this video on Twitter, and I want to show it to you guys right here. Look at how Aaron Glenn addressed Marcelino McCrary Ball right after the penalty, right after he pulled him on the field, the second after that penalty was committed. Watch this here, folks. Have we seen Robert Saleh do that? Have we seen any other Jets head coach do that? We all know Aaron Glenn's taking the right steps in the direction here. That was the second play, actually, of two unnecessary roughness calls, two late hits. The first one was from Eric Watts, I believe, and then McCrary Ball there on the second one. So McCrary Ball and Watts had back-to-back late hits there. Yeah, the one with Watts, Malik Willis, who was on a read option, he shedded Ryan Cooper in the backfield. Then Watts ultimately laid a late hit on Malik Willis, and Glenn addressed it. Glenn addressed it with all these guys. So again, this isn't an issue that just boom, a new head coach comes in who's implementing a new team, a new culture. Penalties just change overnight. No, this is a fundamental issue. Like I said, that certainly takes time to change. Certainly takes time to flip the script on for sure. So again, folks, this isn't just an issue that changes overnight. I like the way that Glenn has handled minimizing them. And as we wait for him to step up to the podium, his press conference that we will listen to live right here on the show, I'm sure there will be some questions regarding these penalties, how he plans to fix it, and what the plan is moving forward with these issues. Again, Aaron Glenn, as he steps up to the podium, he hasn't stepped up yet, but when he does, we will pull it up live right here on the screen. I mean, the first play of the game, there was a penalty on the kickoff, and then you look defensively too. The first non-special team snap of the game on defense for the Jets was an encroachment penalty on Jay Tufele. And folks, we'll get into Tufele's performance throughout the show here, but remember the name, Jay Tufele. What a game out of him. A sack and a half, a touchdown. Yes, a touchdown for the big man on the inside, Jay Tufele. So a lot to get into regarding Tufele, this defensive line, and the defensive unit as a whole. So a super, super promising performance from the pass rush on the interior of the line. We saw some promising signs from the secondary. Overall, pleased with what I saw. And I think that really started on the first drive of the game. Obviously, like I said, there was the unfortunate Tufele encroachment penalty there to get things started. But then second play, Sauce Gardner, my God, he's elite, folks. He's elite. And he showed today, I know it's a preseason game, folks, but he showed today why he is worth every single penny of that 4-year, $120 million extension. A huge hit, a pass breakup, second play of the game, and then he follows it up with, the one area where a lot of people like to critique Sauce Gardner, and it's kind of low-hanging fruit as he's a cornerback as well. His run defense, and I want to see him improve as a run defender. I want to see that. Well, he went downhill all the way from the secondary today and made a beautiful run stop. So a lot to like out of Sauce Gardner. And again, we're going to break down everything regarding this team today and their performance against the Green Bay Packers. But Aaron Glenn has officially stepped up to the podium and is speaking to reporters. So we'll pull that up here on the screen. Let's give it a listen, folks.
Things that we got to clean up, a number of things, and we will clean those up. All right, so I look forward to going to next week. When it comes to the injuries that we had, Isaiah Davis, he had an ankle. I think he'll be just fine. Lazard had a shoulder. Get more value, more testing on that, see what that is. And Kane had a calf, right? And I think he'll be just fine also. So other than that, I think we came out pretty clean with everybody else. But I just thought that was our brand of football for the most part. So, again, like I said, I look forward to going to next week. We got a really good challenge going to the next week. really good receiver, damn good quarterback we got to go against, damn good D line we have to go against. So our guys be up for the challenge.
What did you think they did that first offensive series?
Listen, I thought the guys did a great job, man. I really do. I thought Justin got the guys in and out the huddle. I thought Tanner did a really good job getting the play calls in so the guys could play with tempo and play fast. It was good to see Justin use his legs also. All right. So we know he has that in his bag. The thing that I think he showed for the most part is, man, we can call a play. We have a shot. And if the shot's not there, he can get it, chunk it down. All right. And he did a really good job of that. So he was patient. He did everything that we needed, all right, to get this win. And for him to be the quarterback that we know that he can be. So, but it wasn't just that. I mean, I thought our run game did well, just across the board. O-line pushed people back, knocked people off the ball. And that's who we have to be because that's our brand of football.
With Justin, we analyze every day training camp.
Yeah.
Is it hard to see what you can do in a training camp practice because you don't have the running as much in those practices? And as he's preseason games, kind of show you a little bit more of what he's capable of?
Well, here's what I would say, because there's so much noise on the outside. And again, I told you guys this and I'll tell him this. He's going to get criticized for every little thing. And the good thing about him is he is so mature, and we talk about this on a consistent basis, that he doesn't care. All right. The only thing that we care about is how is he operating and is he getting better? And we see that in-house. So we love where he's at right now. And does he have ways to go? Absolutely he does. Is he going to continue to work? Absolutely he will, because that's just who he is.
Love that line there.
Where he's at. We know exactly where we're going, and we're going to continue to work our ass off until we get there. Well, I'm not playing, so yeah, the guys tried to give it to me. But I thought Wilkes did a hell of a job calling the game. And listen, I know it's preseason, but listen, I said, whoever plays for us, I don't care what group it is, first group, second group, third group, there shouldn't be a drop off in the way that we operate and how we play. But I appreciated that, man. But those guys are out there playing, so I want him to have his ball on touchdown. I said it earlier, like that is our brand when you look at it. The way that we ran the ball, I mean, we're very efficient in our passing game. Man, we had the ball for over 38 minutes. No turnovers, right? We had 2 takeaways for us, one on special teams and one on defense. I think we had like 4 or 5 sacks in the game. So everything about what we did was our brand. The only thing that wasn't our brand is the amount of penalties that we had. And some of those penalties were undisciplined penalties. So we got to clean that up.
What we saw tonight on some of those undisciplined plays, Clemens comes to mind with a prairie ball.
Yeah.
Come to the sideline, and you were there to greet them.
I have to address that.
Is that what we're going to see from you?
I have to address that.
What is your message to them when they come to the sideline?
Between me and them, I have to address that. That's all you need to know.
I might be mistaken. I thought Adams said going out early in the game seemed to be banged up.
Say it again.
Tony Adams.
Yeah, he has a thigh. He does. But I think he'll be just fine, though. He'll be just fine.
What did you think of the way Tufele
He ran hard, very hard, very elusive. The thing that you probably didn't see was some of the things he did on special teams too, which was pretty encouraging. So, I think all those guys, like all of our backs, did a really good job today. I hate that Donald got the touchdown call back. I really think he deserved that. And I think you really saw speed from him as he got around the edge.
72-yard run for Donovan Edwards,
again,
by the way.
that's
Don't
our
mean
brand
to
of football.
cut off the
We
press here.
wanna run it, but we also wanna be
72-yard
very
run that was
efficient
called
and fast,
back
which I think our guys
due to
did.
holding, though, on Donovan Edwards. That was rough.
Yeah.
two big catches. What kind
Yeah.
of weapon can he be? We don't see fullbacks everywhere in the league.
Yeah.
What kind of weapon can he be?
Well, he's a really good player. And actually, that was Mooge's first signing to get him in. And like, I'm a big believer in fullbacks in this league. I don't think people play against him as much. So I think that gives us an advantage. But I would go back and say this. The play that we called were shot plays, all right, to our guys. And it just so happened Justin saw the coverage, right? The coverage meant to take the shot away, man. He was quick to check the ball down. And Beck did his job as far as making plays.
Couple more. Bernard Converse.
Yeah.
Wasn't on the trip.
Yeah, he has a medical issue, all right, that he's dealing with right now. But he's coming back and he'll be just fine.
Anyone stand out to you? I know before watching the film,
Listen, I want to go watch the tape and really evaluate it, but obviously Justin did a really good job. Um, Listen, I thought our quarterbacks in general, all those guys, did a really good job of, man, getting the ball out their hand, understand the coverage of the defense, and being efficient the way we play. I thought our O line did a hell of a job of creating movement. I mean, so we can get those tough yards. I mean, sometimes those 2 and 3 yard runs will add up going to the fourth quarter, and I thought that happened quite a bit. I mean, I thought our front on defense did a hell of a job as far as attacking the run and getting after the quarterback. Now, at the end of the game, I wasn't really happy about how we played the run, but we'll get that fixed. I thought our DBs did a really good job of making plays on the ball, too. So I thought it was an overall good team effort. I would say this, our punter did a hell of a job on that one punt, all right, for us to get the takeaway. And we call him a sniper for a reason, and he has to flip the field for us, all right? So I thought he did a really good job also. All righty.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's head coach Aaron Glenn speaking to reporters immediately after the Jets' 30-10 victory over the Green Bay Packers to kick off the preseason. Like I said, and Aaron Glenn mentioned there, it's still the preseason, but folks, we saw a lot of positives today out of this team. I mean, Aaron Glenn, I don't think could have had a better press conference, couldn't have addressed reporters in a more promising sign. I mean, he is handling reporters in a unique way that we haven't seen in New York for a very, very, very long time. So I'm super pleased with what Glenn had to say at the podium today. And frankly, I agree with everything he said. Thank you all for tuning in right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. It is completely free and it helps us grow significantly here on the channel. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all those in the chat. We're going to get to those. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the show. Super Chats memberships, they're doubled for our membership raffle today because it is a Jets win. So get all your Super Chats in, get all your memberships in. They get your raffle entries. They're doubled today, and they help us grow significantly right here on the channel. Glenn spoke about the quarterback play. He spoke about the starters. So I have to start with Justin Fields' performance today. Glenn made it clear earlier in the week today that we would see starters. In what capacity? Us fans had no idea entering today's game. And it was just one possession, but it was a great possession for Fields and company. They march all the way downfield. They score a touchdown. When you look at what Fields had to do overall, he had a great pass with Tyler Johnson. He connected with Tyler Johnson for a great first down to start it off. Then play action on the bootleg, connected with Andrew Beck for a 10-yard gain. Braylon Allen on that possession had a nice rush, accelerated through the gap, just hit the hole hard. I mean, he is someone who is going to fit in so nicely with Fields in this offense. Just his ability to accelerate so quickly, hit the hole hard, and make an impact with his power. He's going to play such a big role on this team this season. So it was great to see him stick out. And then Fields, big play to Beck, 24 yards on another bootleg, gets inside the red zone. I mean, he just looked so poised today. He looked like such a smart decision maker. It looked like a Justin Fields that we truly haven't seen. And frankly, I was pleased with the way that the offense was overall being commanded, whether it was between Fields or the other two quarterbacks, Brady Cook, Adrian Martinez, whose performances we will dive into later on in the show. I was really pleased with the way they were handling this team and handling the game overall. They weren't pushing the ball downfield. They weren't forcing any tough decisions. They were playing simple football, executing the game plan correctly, moving the chains, and it was nothing fancy. It was nothing special, but it was what you needed to do to secure a 20-point victory like we saw today. So I was pleased with the way the offense was being commanded as a whole. So I will say that as well as to how I was, happy with the play calling from Tanner Engstrand that we saw today, and overall the way the offense was commanded, not only by Fields, but the other two quarterbacks in Adrian Martinez and Brady Cook. We saw a ton of play action with Fields. We saw 3 play action passes on that possession. And then obviously he closed off a 10-play drive with the big money play, sheds off multiple defenders in the backfield, and then rushes for over 15 yards, finds his way to the end zone. Jets' first touchdown of the year. Granted, it comes in the preseason. The $40 million man himself, Justin Fields, is the one who finds his way into the end zone. So we saw Fields for that possession. Then Aaron Glenn said, perfect. That's all I need to see out of the $40 million man. We're going to pull you right from the game, along with most of our starters. And that's what happened. So we just saw one possession out of Fields today. And it was certainly a promising one. The Justin Fields era is off to a promising start here. And then you look over on the defense today, moving over to kind of the second drive of the game. There was a brawl. Everyone was a little feisty on the defensive side of the ball. Things got heated. The first play of the second possession defensively, and then tempers kind of calmed down. Romeo Dobbs dropped the pass. Jordan Love overthrows a big play downfield. Cisco delivers a strong hit. Then we see Sauce Gardner get handsy for the first time today. He gives Green Bay a new set of downs, and that's where the penalty issues really kick in, and it stays that way all day for Gang Green's defense. So he gives Green Bay a first down, a couple yards on a rush. Then Will McDonald, by the way, makes a huge run stop, an area that McDonald can improve significantly. And we can all agree on that right here on the show. That's an area where Will McDonald needs to improve significantly. He looked really nice stopping the run today for the Jets. He made an impact. He was, flying around the field. He ran across the entire defensive line, switched positions on the line to ultimately stop the run behind the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard loss. And then Jay Tufele, like I said, folks, remember that name. Jay Tufele gets home for the sack and ultimately forces the punt. So that's what the second possession looked like for the Jets. And then I want to dive into Brady Cook, what we saw out of him on his first drive of the game. When you look at so this was the second possession for the Jets. Braylon Allen started off, negative 2-yard gain, which was tough. And then Cook, his first passing attempt in the green and white, he connected with Allen Lazard for a first down. Short rush by Isaiah Davis. Then he bobbles the snap from Josh Myers before hitting Lazard again near the sideline for 3rd and 1. And this is pretty much the last possession that we saw out of Allen Lazard today before he ultimately left the game with this injury we're hearing from Aaron Glenn, that being a shoulder injury. We heard that he was in the locker room with a sling, and he ultimately has already left Lambeau Field. This was the last possession we saw out of Allen Lazard today, like I just said. Then the Jets continue to move the chains. Isaiah Davis picks up the first down. Braylon Allen rips off a nice gain. Another big play from Braylon Allen. And then Brady Cook again. This is where I really started to see him, thrive and get in a rhythm. He hits Tyler Johnson off a play action for 20 yards. A couple run plays later, he hits Arian Smith just short of the sticks. We really saw Brady Cook today get in a groove. We saw Brady Cook today. That's what we ultimately saw. And the thing, the offense did slow down with him once we got to the second quarter in the back end. I think the biggest thing for him is just riding that momentum, taking what he did these first couple possessions of the game and carrying that throughout the rest of his day. Because if we saw him play his whole outing like he did his first 2 possessions of the game, boy, we could do a whole show about Brady Cook, because those first 2 possessions were really nice for him, and things ultimately slowed down. But I think there's meat on that bone. I've spoken about that before. If you guys have been watching the show since around draft time, you guys know that I am a big Brady Cook fan and a big believer in Cook overall. So I was pleased with what I saw to him today on these first couple possessions of the game. So shout out to Brady Cook. Arian Smith is one of the names I listed there. He connected with Arian Smith. Had a nice day, the 4th round rookie. We'll get into Arian Smith a little bit later here on the show. Again, defensively, that next possession is when we really started to see these penalties unfold and go haywire. The back-to-back hits like we spoke about with Eric Watson, Marcelino McCrary ball. Then Malik Willis starts dealing, connects with the tight end for about 20 yards downfield. The Jets bounce back. We saw Francisco Mauigoa get involved, delivered a nice hit in the backfield. Quantez Stiggers is a name who was flying around the field today. We saw him make an impact on special teams. We also saw him again wrap up a few tacklers behind the line of scrimmage. We saw him in pass pro. Jamarcus Weston, another defensive player. We saw impact on special teams at the gunner position. That job up for grabs with Chris Boyd out dealing with a shoulder injury. We saw him wrap up Malik Willis for a sack behind the line on an RPO play. So inconsistent with the Jets. It was, you take a step forward, you take 2 back with the penalties and the big plays today. Overall, you got to even out these penalties. You really do. 91 penalty yards today, 10 penalties. And again, I know I said, this isn't going to switch overnight, but September 7th, Jets kick off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We need these issues to be resolved. Can we go from 90 penalty yards a game to 30? Can we do that? Can we do that, Aaron Glenn? Can we do that, Steve Wilkes? Can we do that, Tanner Engstrand? You're in charge of this team. You inherited a team that was poorly disciplined, poorly coached. Now it's your job to come in and instill a new culture. And I know that word's overused. Instill a new brand of football in this team. Instill a new way the game should be played. And that's the job of those three big names there. I'm just going to kind of go player by player here, talk to you guys about what I saw overall from them today. We'll start with the quarterbacks. Obviously, I spoke about Justin Fields' performance, how I was pleased with what I saw to him today. We touched on Brady Cook. Brady Cook's final line, 6 of 8 for 62 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Fields, 3 of 4, 42 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Martinez is the one who closed the game, and frankly, he probably looked the best out of all three of these guys, just from a pure passing perspective. 11 of 16, 152 yards and a touchdown. We saw him move around in the pocket. Look, he's not a statue. Adrian Martinez can clearly move. He can clearly create his own in space in the pocket. He can get out of the pocket, and he can make plays for you. So 152 yards and a touchdown for him. Him and Brady Cook, these two are going to be competing for the quarterback 3 job. I like Cook more. I think there's more meat on that bone with Cook. I think there's more upside with Brady Cook. There's more intrigue compared to Adrian Martinez, but it's going to be a battle of the preseason. It's going to be who can stick out, who could thrive the most here in the preseason. And these remaining 2 games now that we have won in the books are going to be super, super important for this positional battle. So Brady Cook, Adrian Martinez continue to battle it out for that QB3 job, and we saw it today in full force. So Brady Cook, 6 of 8, 62 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Martinez, 11 of 16, 152 yards, and a touchdown. You move over to the rushing attack. Isaiah Davis didn't really have any big plays. We know him from and I'm a big Isaiah Davis fan. We know him as the efficient runner, was very efficient for this team last year. We didn't really see him make any huge plays today. 6 carries, 14 yards, 2.3 a carry, nothing significant. You look at Braylon Allen. He had a nice average, 8 carries, 33 yards, 4 yards a carry, but that's kind of riding the coattails generally of a couple nice runs, a 15-yard run, a 14-yard run, some of the ones of significance that he had earlier today. So, again, I think the biggest thing in this rushing attack, when you look at Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, Breece Hall, consistency. And the consistency will come over time. It's just game 1 of the preseason. These guys still have time. It's about consistency, though. So that's what I have to say regarding Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, and Breece Hall also in the rushing attack. Donovan Edwards today, folks. Donovan Edwards, 9 carries, 42 yards, 4.7 a carry. He looked unstoppable out there today. He had the 73-yard run that Aaron Glenn addressed at the podium today that was called back, unfortunately, due to a holding call on a backup offensive lineman who was in there today. I mean, this is someone who was projected as a first-round pick just a few years ago before all hell really broke loose for him at Michigan, and he ultimately signed with the Jets as a UDFA following the draft this year. So Donovan Edwards made a nice impact after I haven't really heard his name called throughout training camp practices that I've been in attendance for to cover. I didn't really see much out of him, so helps his case that he's making an impact throughout the preseason. Other Jets running back, guys, no chance of making the roster. Lawrence Torafili, Florida State product, 4 carries, 17 yards. Gave you some nice reps to talk about in garbage time today, but nothing significant there. No juice out of him that we're looking forward to seeing in the next few weeks. Kene Nwangwu, 5 carries, 10 yards. Didn't really see much out of him. He ultimately left the game early with an injury. Didn't see too much promise with him on special teams either, so nothing significant from Nwangwu. In the receiving game for these backs, though, Toafili, 9 yards, but again, how much hype, how much stock are we putting into Lawrence Toafili here? With all due respect, he's not going to be on this team come September 1st, so we don't have to worry about him. Isaiah Davis had a nice 11-yard reception, which was just short of the end zone. He ultimately stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line, but it was very, very, very close to being a touchdown. And then the Jets settled for like the 22-yard kick, I think it was, with Harrison, the thicker kicker, Mevis. So He had a nice reception. He also had a great fake on the read option for Fields to draw, like there was a huge pass coming in his hands, and he had a great fake on that, which ultimately drew a lot of the secondary and a lot of the defenders into the back of the end zone and opened up a huge hole for Fields. So I don't know if anyone saw that. I'll try to find the clip here and we'll try to play it on the show, but he had a really nice play that ultimately opened up a touchdown for Justin Fields. So that's why I'm looking down here right on my monitor as I try to find this clip. It was a beautiful play. And it's, again, there's no stat for that. That doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it's a play that impacted this game specifically in a significant manner. I'll pull it up right here on the show. I was lucky enough to find it here. That's why the screen was changing. All right, downloading in the StreamYard now, but it was a beautiful play, and that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but he also had a nice block in space today. Like, while his stat sheet overall might not have been great from a yards per carry perspective and didn't put up the flashy numbers, he impacted the game in other ways. Watch this. Watch this.
Fields, catching a block, crumbling pocket, gets away on the move, and room to go.
That doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it's a play that opens up an opportunity for your teammate and prompts you to score your first touchdown in the game. So props to Isaiah Davis for that play. And you guys know I am a big Isaiah Davis fan. I expect big things out of him this year. And I think this running back room of Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis, obviously, can be one of the best running back trios in the league. So continue to look out for these guys, not only as the preseason progresses, but obviously the regular season as well. Pass catchers, Andrew Beck had a big game today. The fullback, we spoke about Beck's performance earlier. I have him on my 53-man roster. He's someone I'm super fond of. Not only does he have experience as a route runner, as a tight end, you could use him in that role. He's also a fullback, so you can use him as an H-back. You use him as a blocker. He brings a lot of intrigue. And you need intrigue. You need a new dimension. Glenn spoke about it in his presser that we just listened to in its entirety right here on the show. Talk about how unique it is, and teams don't really use fullbacks, and he likes that the Jets are kind of fiddling with that new dimension, that new toy to the offense, if you will. I have Beck making this team as truly the fourth tight end, if you think about it that way. The tight ends today, no Mason Taylor. He didn't travel with the team dealing with an eye ankle sprain. He's sidelined for a few weeks here. So the tight ends, other tight ends, not including Andrew Beck, who we just spoke about, Andrew Beck, being the tight end / fullback, technically listed as a fullback, but I consider him in that tight end role. We've seen him play tight end multiple times throughout his career. Neil Johnson, a reception, 6 yards. Zach Kuntz made a nice play near the sideline in garbage time. He had a catch for 12 yards. Stone Smart, though, he was the big play tight end today behind Andrew Beck today. On a tight end screen, great vision, used his blockers, 24 yards to get in the end zone for a touchdown. Liked what I saw out of Stone Smart. Again, minimal reps, but that one play where we saw him get the ball in his hands was not only a very well-designed play that we can certainly see in the regular season. Obviously, that play drawn up by Tanner Engstrand, but great execution, great ability to follow his blockers, take the lead, and ultimately find his way to the end zone touchdown. So it was a 24-yard reception that ultimately found his way into the end zone for 6 points. A great performance today from Stone Smart. The receivers, Tyler Johnson, who you guys know I've spoken about here on the show, is a sleeper who can, maximize his skill set truly with this team if he's given opportunities. He had solid performance, two catches for 27 yards today. Quentin Skinner, man, he can fly. Did you guys see that play? Adrian Martinez lofts it up to him, and he just climbs the ladder to reel that catch in, 26 yards. This is a former 2-star recruit, someone who went to Kansas, 5-year contributor there, averaged 22.5 yards per catch last year, 6'5", 195 pounds, so a leaner guy who is an explosive threat, a big play threat for you downfield, and at 6'5" is a contested catch threat at that as well. So, again, Quentin Skinner, UDFA, remember the name there. Him, Jamal Pritchett, guys of that ilk, with strong preseasons and with a strong preseason and a receiver room like this that lacks a lot of talent. These are guys who can certainly climb the depth chart and potentially find their way onto this team's 53-man roster post-cutdown day. Quentin Skinner, what a grab today. I mentioned him there, Jamal Pritchett. Man, he had some prime opportunities today in the end zone. He had some nice targets. He had an opportunity to secure a touchdown in the second half. He didn't capitalize on that opportunity. It wasn't a drop. It was tight coverage. Could he have caught it? Sure. Would it have been a great catch? Absolutely. He only had one catch on the day for 6 yards. Looked okay returning punts. Four returns, 33 yards. A net of 8.2 yards per return. 23 yards on his only kickoff. I think he's a higher chance of making the team than Malachi Corley. I'll stay true to that even after today's game. I think there's a world where we can see two UDFAs in both Skinner and Pritchett on this team's 53-man roster. I really think it's a possibility. Also, depending on the severity of Lazard's shoulder injury, Lazard has to earn a roster spot here, guys. This isn't a given, in my opinion, under any circumstance. No matter what happens, Allen Lazard is on this team's 53-man roster. Lazard has to earn a roster spot, and if he's out, a guy like Skinner, who's explosive, another contested catch threat, big frame, it opens up an opportunity for him. Another guy it opens up an opportunity for was on this team's 90-man roster last year as well, Brandon Smith. He had 2 catches for 23 yards today. He's just a big body. Strong hands today, held on to both of his targets. A nice post route across the middle of the field. We saw out of him today. Again, strong hands, big body, big frame. Another contested catch guy. Keep a lookout for him. The two big contested catch guys, the explosive threats. That's Brandon Smith and Quentin Skinner. Both those guys flashed in a really, really great way today, while Allen Lazard is dealing with a shoulder injury. So, again, next man up mentality for this team. Depending on how serious this is, this really opens up a significant opportunity for Smith, Skinner, and a ton of these guys in this position room. Arian Smith, folks, the 4th-round rookie. We've spoken about him so much this offseason. 2 catches, 18 yards today. Didn't have a drop. Again, when given the ball, he had some nice plays. He shed a defender. He had some nice yak on a play. Averaged 9 yards a reception. Wasn't a liability. I mean, are we talking about an Arian Smith stat line that was, 3 catches for 112 yards? No. But I'll take that. 2 receptions, can't speak here on the show. Made a nice impact. He's a developmental piece. They'll continue to ease him into the game plan, game in and game out. This is a piece by week 5. I think you're firing on all cylinders with him. It's going to take some time, though, because he has a unique skill set, and how they're going to tailor his skill set to this offense is going to take time, in my opinion. But overall, can't complain about his performance today. 2 catches, 18 yards. Malachi Corley, we spoke about him earlier. I spoke about how I think Jamal Pritchett has a higher chance of making the roster than him. Nothing today. 1 catch for 8 yards. They trusted him enough to put him back on a kick return. I mean, it was a 31-yard return from the end zone. Okay. You took a knee. It would have been the same distance. 1 yard closer to the end zone, actually. So, what has he shown? What has he shown here, guys? He needs to earn a roster spot. He needs to be stacking these days, and he needs to earn a roster spot. Not a roster spot doesn't give it to him automatically. A roster spot doesn't give it to Allen Lazard automatically. A guy like Corley, he's someone you need to have, the Andrew Beck, Tyler Johnson type stat line today. He's a guy you need to see a rep for 50, 55 yards in a preseason game this year if he wants to stick around post-cutdown day. He needs to step up, man. He really, really does if he wants to say he's a New York Jet come September 1st. So he's not on my 53-man roster prediction right now. I'll say that right here. He's not on my 53-man roster prediction right now. It's an uphill climb for Corley. Defensively today, big day from the guys up front. It starts with Jay Tufele. A tackle, a sack and a half, and most importantly, a touchdown, baby. That touchdown came by way Malik Willis after a great punt from Austin McNamara, who looked great today. Malik Willis backed up in his own end zone, Leonard Taylor III didn't go for the sack. Very, very smart play here today. Didn't go just sack him directly for the safety. He went for the ball to punch the ball out of Willis's hand. He punched the ball out of Willis's hand, and ultimately he jars it free. And then Tufele dives right on it in the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Jets. So Jay Tufele, 0.5 sacks entering today throughout his entire NFL career. He had a sack and a half today. Shout out to him. Free agent addition from this team. Spent time with the Bengals, spent time with the Jaguars. 5th-round pick, I believe, just a few years ago. Big day for him. Shout out to him. UDFA, who caught my eye, Jamarcus Weston, stuck out as a gunner candidate for me on special teams. Had 2 tackles today. Keep an eye on him as, a potential linebacker candidate. The Jets gave the most money to him, most guaranteed money to him among any undrafted free agent. So the Jets clearly have something they like with him. Keep an eye out for Weston. Ryan Cooper, Bump Cooper, as his nickname is, made an impact today. 2 strong hits, 2 tackles as well. Cornerback, who's an undrafted free agent. Last year, spent time with the Dolphins, spent time with the Seahawks. Jets signed him after they released punter Kai Kroger. He had a nice day today. He's a practice squad piece for you in the secondary, has NFL experience. Solid day at him overall. Jamin Davis got in the backfield on that RPO, had a sack, had a tackle as well. Jamian Sherwood had a nice tackle. Minimal reps out of him today. Will McDonald, like I mentioned earlier, we saw him get in the backfield, create havoc against the run as well. Quantez Stiggers, what a day out of him, coming downhill against the run, staying strong and, being stingy in pass coverage, making an impact on special teams, flying around the field. Big day out of Stiggers. Kiko Mauigoa hitting the backfield as well. Solid performance from this defense. When you take out the amount of penalties that this defensive unit committed, overall, it was a solid day. And the scoreboard shows it, a 30-10 victory. So this defense cleans up their penalties. They could easily be a top 7 unit in the league. Top 5, top 7 unit. They have the coaching staff. They have the personnel, certainly. The talent is there. Clean up the penalties, clean up the avoidable mistakes. And we're talking about a top 5 defense that the New York Jets have. Thank you all for tuning in right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. It is completely free and it helps us grow significantly right here on the show. Connor along with you guys on NY Flight Jets Talk. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all those in the chat. I appreciate all your support as always here on the show. Super chats and memberships, they're doubled for our raffle entry today. Every $2 super chat or gift and membership gives you an entry, but the $2 super chat, that would be 1 entry, gets up to 2 entries. A gift and membership gets 2, 5 turns into 10, 10 turns into 20, so on and so forth. You guys were super generous with the gifted memberships on the pregame show, so I appreciate all of your support as always here on the show. The raffle prize that we're giving away, our raffle obviously occurring on August 15th, just 6 days from now. The prize we're giving away include a Wayne Corbett, Lavernius Coles, Santana Moss signed photo, a Don Maynard signed photo, an Altoon signed photo, free item from our merch store, a channel emoji, and a signed Sauce Gardner photo that will come in a frame as our grand prize. So get all your super chats, get all your memberships in. Much appreciated. They help us grow significantly, and they get you raffle entries as well right here on the show. And the entries are all double. They're all double. So please take advantage of that. Get in on our raffle. Support the show. Goes a long way. Appreciate it. Connor Long right here with you guys on NY Flight Jets Talk. Questions, comments, thoughts. Throw all of those in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Load up all your calls. Load up all your thoughts, questions, comments in the chat. We'll get into the chat. Jeffrey R., Kenny Peluso, both becoming members ahead of today's show. Thank you guys so much. Much appreciated. Appreciate your support here on the show. They get doubled raffle entries because they just became members. Appreciate you guys again. Become a member, gift a membership, submit a super chat. It helps us grow significantly here on the program, folks. Thank you so much for your support. Connor Long, right here with you guys. Follow me on Twitter as well, Connor_Long15. Read my work, JetsXFactor.com. Write a ton there every day. Gonna have a ton of analysis from today's game. So read my work there. Read all of us. Me and my colleagues over at JetX. Put a lot of time and effort there. So certainly go check it out. Brooklyn Boys in the building. Good to see you, Josh. Appreciate it. Says Fields played well. They were really coached. Just a couple defensive penalties to work on. Like I said, guys, this team cleans up the penalties. It was a very, very, very strong game on both sides of the ball. The system on offense fit exactly what you needed to do from a pure game management standpoint. So you check that off the list. The defense was getting in the backfield, making plays. The run defense got a little lazy towards the end, like AG mentioned in his presser, but the run defense stayed strong for the majority of today's game. Quarterback play was solid. I'm pleased with what I saw overall. I think the score is a fair assessment of what happened today. I think the Jets significantly outplayed the Packers today, on the road as well, at Lambeau. Good to see you, John. Appreciate you joining us here on the show. Duncan says best part of the game was coaching and play calling was good. Also, AG disciplined players with dumb penalties. For those who didn't see it, we put it on the show earlier. This is Aaron Glenn addressing Marcelino McCrary Ball after he committed a personal foul. Watch this. No nonsense under Aaron Glenn. No nonsense, folks. The issues are coming to a halt. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. The issues, penalty issues, they're coming to a halt. Reluctant Earthling, good to see you in the chat, my friend. Appreciate you tuning in. JT says, let's go. What a win. Indeed it is, JT. Thank you for joining us here on the show. Chris Johnson says, I remember rooting for Glenn when I was a kid. It was cool to see his first one as a head coach with my same Jets. I was not there to witness him as a player, Chris, but I'm sure that is a super cool feeling. So, yeah, first win as the head coach of this team. Hopefully we could see his first win on September 7th, his first real win on September 7th. Today, though, a step in the right direction for sure as he continues to still establish this foundation in Florham Park, New Jersey. JT, a win is a win. The team looks solid. They did. Besides the penalty issues today, like I said, the score is a fair assessment of what we saw today, in my opinion. They were playing physical. They were stopping the run. Secondary looked solid. Offense was humming. Vanilla offense that was able to work. Simple for the quarterbacks. Like the play action. Pleased with what I saw today. I like the play calling. Certainly happy with today's performance. So the Reluctant Earthling, how long did starters play for? Just one series on offense. I believe 2 series it was on defense. So minimal time today. Reluctant Earthling, minimal time. I think Glenn just wanted to see what his guys looked like, how they stuck out, how they performed. And I think the touchdown drive orchestrated by Justin Fields to climb all the way downfield there pretty much told Aaron Glenn, I've had enough. I've seen what I needed to see. I'm good. We can pull starters from the game. So that's what Aaron Glenn needed to see to take the offensive starters out of the game. Again, 210 of you guys watching live. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. Questions, comments, thoughts, keep them coming in the chat. We're going to get to those. You guys can call into the show with the pinned comment. Try to get some callers here. So, again, if you guys want to, open phone lines right now. You guys can call into the show with the pinned comment. Get all your super chats. Get all your memberships in. They get you entries. They're doubled tonight. We had some raffle entries. We had a ton of raffle entries on the pregame show. We had some earlier today. So, again, every $2 super chat or gift and membership gives you a raffle entry, an opportunity to win a Lavernius Coles, Santana Moss, Wayne Corbett signed photo, Don Maynard signed photo, an Altoon signed photo, a free item from the merch store, channel emoji, and the grand prize, which is a Sauce Gardner signed photo that comes in a frame. So every $2 super chat or gift and membership will get you an entry, but entries doubled today. So please, 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 we had a ton of entries on the pregame show. Keep them coming throughout the postgame. We had a few earlier. So again, $2 super chat, gift and membership, get you an entry. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Keep all of your thoughts, questions, comments flowing in the chat, baby. We're going to get to it. Accountability, the thoughts there. After I played that clip directly from AG. A new brand of football, folks. That's what it is. John's is so happy Salah's gone. It's just a different environment. We never saw Salah do it with a player, and it's like that's low-hanging fruit, in my opinion. Like I didn't like Salah on his emotions on the sideline, but I mean, when did we see Bill Belichick really get that animated? And he won games. So ultimately, for Aaron Glenn, we love the way he's disciplining these guys, the way he's setting a tone, setting a culture, but it's going to mean nothing unless this team's able to win football games. So the team better win games. That is the bottom line no matter what here. I love it. I love what Aaron Glenn's been able to do. He's been able to galvanize this locker room and make a difference and clearly, impact the minds of these players. And and shift the culture, but you gotta win games, man. You gotta win games. So when you win games, that's when I'll truly be excited. Nathan, good to see you. Yeah, we covered this in a while ago, so hope you heard the update there, Nathan. Appreciate you as always. Phenom says good stuff, Connor. Phenom, support means a ton, my friend. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you for your support right here on the show. Brooklyn Boy says, I think one of those half sacks was really his, not shared. No, he had 1.5 sacks today. They didn't give him credit for that second one, unfortunately. So 1.5 sacks for J2 Fele today. John says, Glenn is the real deal. We have a great head coach. Looking that way in game action. Looking that way, my friend. So positive step in the right direction here, absolutely. Reluctant Earthling. Wow, I haven't seen a Jets head coach who sounds that lucid since ... Since ... Exactly. First of this elk, where we've seen a coach, go out there and set the message straight with reporters and show that this is a different team. Again, like I said, it's not going to mean anything if you don't win games, but it's a promising sign in the right direction. I can't emphasize that enough. Duncan says Fields moved through the targets, went to number 2 and number 3 on a couple passes, did his progressions well. Yeah, that's what I saw. He looked confident. He looked poised. He wasn't rushing anything. He wasn't just a one-read quarterback today. So Fields looked well. Fields looked solid. He was taking his time. He was going through his progressions. Wasn't forcing anything. Wasn't taking off with his legs too much. Promising signs out of QB1 here. Justin Fields. Chris B! Thank you so much for your support here on the show. Appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate you tuning in. Robert says Martinez is better than Cook. I think Cook is way more upside. I think Martinez has shown more as, being a guy who can be at a ceiling, a backup for you, like a Gardner Minshew type guy. I think Cook has more upside. There's more meat on that bone with Cook, in my opinion. Duncan says Martinez greater than Cook. I don't think Cook makes the team. Ball doesn't look crisp out of his hand. It's the first time we've seen Brady Cook in an NFL atmosphere. I think we got to give him some time here. I like his legs more. I think he offers a lot more intrigue. I think he has a lot more upside. So I am much more intrigued and fascinated with the upside that Brady Cook offers over Adrian Martinez. Roberts' Corley is gone. Looking that way. Again, if I had to make a prediction today, Corley's not on this team. He needs to be making an impact. He needs to stand out these days. Or he's gone. I think it's trending in the direction that he is going to be out of this team. Nathan says, Donovan Edwards looks so good, just no room for him. That's what I was saying. I think what you look at with Donovan Edwards, even if he continues to play at this pace, you have to trade him for late round picks. If you're just able to build up his trade stock over the next 2 games and trade him, I'm okay with it because there's no room for him, and you can't put him on waivers and hope he finds his way out of the practice squad because at that point, you're probably just going to lose him for nothing. So when you look at Edwards, I think what you're looking at is a trade for a late-round pick. Roberts says Brandon Smith should make the team, cut Lazard. Look, depending on how serious this injury is, this opens up a huge opportunity for Brandon Smith. This opens up a huge opportunity for Quentin Skinner, Jamal Pritchett, a ton of these different guys. So, again, capitalize on every opportunity. With Aaron Glenn, we know the message, next man up mentality. And with Alan Lazard out, that's what this team is going to have to adapt to. Duncan says give Edwards some time with the 2s. Can't hurt. I don't think we're going to see much more of Breece Hall throughout the preseason. Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, we know what they are. Can't hurt if you want to build up trade stock, like I just said, and ultimately deal him ahead of cut down day. Something you could do like the team did with Brandon Codrington last year. Take flight talk. I love seeing Martinez sling it. He just looks confident. He looks poised. I like him more as a passer than Cook, but I like Cook's elusiveness and ceiling more. So Martinez looks solid today, for sure. And we saw this at him in the preseason last year. The Commanders opener that opened the preseason last year was also a promising step in the right direction that everyone, spoke glowingly about Martinez after. So, good day out of Martinez. Threw for over 150 yards, threw for a touchdown. happy with what I saw to him today. Good for Adrian Martinez. Duncan says if Lazard is hurt, that opens up things for a few guys like Corley. Corley, Pritchett, Quentin Skinner, a whole slew of guys. There are so many receivers in this room. Brandon Smith, a name that I've spoken about so much. So, again, next man up mentality. Next man up mentality here. Next man up mentality. Can't emphasize that enough. That's the mantra under head coach Aaron Glenn. John says Brandon Smith and Pritchett I don't see with Skinner. Skinner's different, John. He's a explosive big play threat who has a big frame, and he's just a lanky downfield threat. 6'5", 195 pounds, really a lanky one, who averaged over 20 yards a catch last year. He's an explosive big play guy. I like him more than Brandon Smith. I don't see the upside with Brandon Smith on the regular season. I really don't. So, Skinner, if I had to rank those guys among the guys I like the most heading into the season, it would be Pritchett 1, Skinner 2, Smith 3. And, Smith, I understand if you like him. He has strong hands. He's looked great these past 2 preseasons. I don't see the regular season upside with him. Nathan says Smith also cooked his defender on the go ball. Martinez missed him. Arian Smith, yes, I know who you're talking about here. Arian Smith missed that as well. Adrian Martinez missed that as well. Intended for Arian Smith, so he didn't get the best end of the 8 ball there as well. Robert says Arian Smith will be wide receiver too. You hope that's the case, and he's able to come in and make an impact for you immediately, but we don't see teams around the league, Robert, rely on a 4th-round draft choice to come in and be a wide receiver too as a rookie. So that's the hope for sure, but I don't think it's fair to expect that out of a 4th-round guy right out of the gate. Green Bean in the building. Zach Connor, long top 7. I like it. Bean, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Appreciate your kind words. We got to do something together soon, man. We should collab sometime soon. I know we were texting the other day. We should try to collab and get back on the air together soon. It'd be super fun. Appreciate you supporting us, Bean. Thank you for tuning in right here on the show. Armand Membus says, rate my performance tonight. Thank you for tuning in, Armand. First off, I appreciate that, man. He says, rate my performance tonight. You look solid. You didn't allow any pressures on 10 pass rush snaps. I believe it was a lot of the runs were designed to your side, creating some holes. Pleased with your performance today. Armand. So I'll give you a 10. I'll be nice because you're tuning in here on NY Flight Jet Stock as well, so you get a few bonus points. I'll give you a 10. Jason still have to stop the stupid penalties. Like I mentioned, this is a cultural issue that takes time to change. But yes, I agree. You have to cut these penalties out. And Fields certainly looked promising. Like the signing or not, like Fields who he is the passer or not, he looked promising. And you saw the upside as to why the Jets took a flyer on him. Groves is very astute analysis, Connor. Grove, that means a lot, man. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you joining us here on the show. Thank you for all your support, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in here on the show. Smash the like button and hit subscribe. Thank you for your support. We heard Aaron Glenn speak to reporters. Fields spoke to reporters as well. I don't know if there's going to be player availability today. Braylon Allen did a little interview with Janae Coakley, but there just aren't, speaking to a bunch of the beat reporters and having a relationship with them. Not a lot of the beat reporters went to Green Bay. The only notable beat reporters who really went to Green Bay are Kaz and Janae Coakley, the ones, at least of my knowledge, who took the trip. So not a lot of beat reporters. So I'm not expecting much player availability, if there is any. Just Fields and a quick Braylon Allen interview with Janae Coakley. That's all I'm seeing right now. I'll keep you posted if I see anything else here on the show. Jay says, what are your thoughts on who will not play at MetLife next week? We're going to see all the starters, in my opinion, Jay. If you're talking about seeing starters or not, I think we'll see all the starters for at least one series, the remaining 2 preseason games. I think that's what the Jets are going to do. They're going to try to keep everyone warm. They're going to try to keep everyone clean, including the starters here. So I expect to see the starters these remaining 2 preseason games. Absolutely. Brooklyn boys, love what I saw to Beck. They got to make room for him on the roster. A ton of value. I'm excited to see him. I've spoke about Beck for a long, long time. I think he makes the roster. You can use him as an H-back. You can use him as a fullback. He's a blocker. He's a versatile route runner. Big frame. He's a do-it-all type guy. And that's what this team needs. And Beck brings that. So, indulge Andrew Beck, inject Andrew Beck into my veins as Cut Down Day approaches here. Brooklyn Boys, a UDFA for a 6th-round pick sounds like a pretty good deal. It's what they got for Brandon Codrington last year. I'd certainly take that deal any day of the week. Jason Spitzberg says, "What's up, Connor? Let's go Jets." Jason, thank you for tuning in, my friend. I know you're a Nets fan as well, so I wanted to promote this, guys. I am under 80 subscribers away from 500 subs on my Nets channel, the Brooklyn Boys Show. I'm about to go throw it in the chat. So please, 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 if you can, please just right now quickly drop off of this stream. Click that link I just threw in the chat. Boop, hit subscribe on the Brooklyn Boys Show, and pop back right here. I put so much time and effort in the channel. I got a fun interview coming up early tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Cap analyst Yossi Goslin. So even if you aren't a Nets fan, even if you aren't an NBA fan, if you are, let's go Nets, baby. But even if you aren't, please just tap over there, hit subscribe. It will really go a long way. It really mean a lot to me. I've done so much work there. I've put a lot of time and effort into that as I chase 500 subscribers over on that channel. I'm trying to reach 500 soon. Trying to reach 500 ahead of the start of the NBA preseason. So please, please, please do me a favor and go over there and hit subscribe. Jason says, "Yes, love your Brooklyn Boys Show. Excellent work." Jason, that means a lot, man. Like I said, I put a lot of time and effort doing that Nets pod as well. I'm spearheading it while doing daily content here on this Jets channel as well. So it's a lot of responsibility at times, but it would really mean a lot. The Nets community is so great. So it would really mean a lot if you guys can help grow that community. And over there, just through the link in the chat and hit subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you for all your support. As always, Reluctant Earthlings is praying one wide receiver will stand out, make a precious leap, resolve these wide receiver 2 fears. Absolutely, and I completely agree with that. However, I don't think you can look at anyone and have it be a fair expectation for them to step up. Like Arian Smith, you can't expect a 4th-round rookie to realistically step up and lead the pack behind Garrett Wilson in a Jets receiver room. Alan Lazard, he isn't that guy. Josh Reynolds isn't that guy. Malachi Corley, he's competing for a roster spot. Like, at times also, I don't think it's fair to expect guys like that to be the Jets wide receiver 2 this year. So I think there's balance, but I agree that they need someone to step up in this pass catcher room. Whether it's Andrew Beck as well, he's not a listed wide receiver. He can be a solid pass catching threat for you as well. Multiple different routes you can go. Alan says Glenn needs to cut Clemens tomorrow. He was a joke today, Clemens. I didn't even want to get into his performance, Alan. He was an unmitigated disaster. Get him off the team. Get him off the team. There's no room. There's no room. He says the Jets are beyond the edge. I couldn't agree more. There's no one behind Will McDonald. No one. We saw Tyler Barron get in the backfield and make a nice play, but again, it's not fair to expect a 5th-round rookie to step up in a big role on the outside as a pass rusher. Jermaine Johnson's coming back. You hope he gets at full strength, but we don't know that he's going to be at full strength and, playing 100% of the snaps come week 5. So a lot of moving pieces. I think it's going to be a rotation of a lot of undrafted guys that we're going to see get their feet wet there throughout the rest of the preseason, and we'll see what happens as we approach the season, but certainly a position that I think it's fair for Jet fans to be concerned about. Thank you all for tuning in right here on NY Flight Jet Stock. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Connor Long right here with you guys on the show. We're going to wrap up here, so thank you so much for all your support as always. 220 of you folks watching us live right here on NY Flight Jet Stock, so thank you for your support here on the show. It really, really means a lot. Make sure you smash the like button and hit subscribe. I saw the analytics. I think like 50% of you guys who watch my videos aren't even subscribed. Watch the videos, watch the stream. So please, guys, just keep hitting subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It goes a long way, and it really means a lot here on the show. Chasing 2,000 subs ahead of the start of the season. We are almost there. Less than 90 subs away. So keep hitting subscribe, folks. Keep smashing the like button. Daily Jets content here. The Next Gen Jets show should be live tomorrow at about 7 p.m. EST. So we'll have some content for you guys tomorrow as well here on the channel. Again, daily Jets content. So come along for the ride, folks. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Thank you all. Midnight Mike, fellow Jets content creators, just keep up the good work. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Subscribe to Mike. He does great Jet stuff on his channel as well. So shoot Mike a sub. Shoot Green Bean a sub, who was in the chat earlier today. Follow all of us Jets content creators as we look to provide the best coverage we can of this team for the 2025-2026 NFL season. Thank you all for joining us. 2 shows today. First show was an epic one. This one as well. 218 of you guys watching live. I appreciate all your support. Shout out to all you guys, the replay gang. Shout out to all you guys who watch after the fact. I know all you guys. I see all you guys in the comments too. So shout out to you guys. Got to give you guys a shout out. Thank you all for your support, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching after the fact. Appreciate you all. Again, I can't emphasize it enough. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Subscribe to my Nets channel. The link I just threw in the chat. I will throw it in the chat. Again, please, please, please subscribe there. It really goes a long way. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your kind support. And so you guys are the reason we can do daily content here on the channel. So keep supporting. I really, really, really appreciate that. Appreciate all your kind words. Appreciate all you guys sparing some time and joining us right here on the show. It really, really does go a long way. Follow me on Twitter at Connor_long15. Read my work at jetsxfactor.com. I'm probably going to be up until about 3 in the morning because I got so much analysis that I want to dump out onto Jets X Factor as well. So thank you all. The support means a ton. Thank you all for joining us right here on the show. I'm your host, Connor Long, right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. Signing off here on the show. Have a great rest of your evening or early morning it is now, as it is 12:15 a.m. here where I am on the East Coast. So hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a great morning. I'm your host, Connor Long, signing off right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening. And as always, JTS, baby. Jets, Jets, Jets. Peace out, folks.